Don't rely on anyone and enjoy solitude. The important thing in travel is to find yourself through travel. To go somewhere is to abandon all things related to yourself that you have become accustomed to in the past. The reason or purpose of the trip is not important. Nietzsche was a traveler who had no family, friends, or companions in real life, and was perfectly alone in every way. He regarded solitude not as an object to be avoided, but rather as an object to be pursued. But why did Nietzsche need a lonely journey? Have you never thought in your life that you want to be alone? Many people and conflicts arise between family members. When I am tired from relationships with people, I think of solitude. Is it just lonely and miserable to be alone? Nietzsche says that solitude is a precious time in life, where he can focus on himself. He leaves his professorship for health reasons and goes on a solo journey to find himself. He says that solitude is not something to be avoided, but something to be pursued for our lives. Let's listen to Nietzsche's thoughts to turn our time alone into a time where we can focus on ourselves. I hope you listen to reflect on the meaning of our time alone in our lives. Traveling is the process of finding yourself. 1879 was a turning point in Nietzsche's life. Nietzsche suffered greatly from an illness for a long time. He faced death and decided to break the whole world around him and go on a journey to find himself. In Human and Very Human Nietzsche compares humans walking on the journey of life to travelers and divides travelers into several stages. The lowest-rated traveler is merely an object observed by others when traveling. Nietzsche says that he is blind as a purely passive human being. The highest-rated traveler is a creator who internalizes what he has learned through travel and applies it to life. Through this, they are trying to find themselves. A life I realized while walking down the street. Nietzsche walked the road alone in the mountains and the sea, and constantly talked with himself. It was good to sit still at a desk and have time for contemplation, but I thought while walking, running, and dancing on the mountains or beaches. Nietzsche says, we are not the kind of humans who only move to thought between books and only when we read books. French philosopher Gabriel Marcel defined humans as homo vater, or human beings who travel. Humans are beings who go on the road in search of the meaning of life. Nietzsche started the life of homo vater for the short 10 years that he had left. He constantly had to go through new breakups and new pains. But he lost his direction and had to keep walking, even if he was tired and hurt. Nietzsche realized that solitude was the only way to break free from the restraints of the existing customs and values that suppressed him. Nietzsche's wandering path is in the footsteps of his thoughts, the path of solitude to the path of the creator. Zarathustra asks if you have the right and power to escape from the group and bear the pain of solitude. If you are on your way to becoming a creator, humans flee from themselves and go to their neighbors, and they pursue other-oriented life by giving standards of life to others. This is because humans feel more comfortable and stable when living in groups with multiple people than when they are alone. However, Zarathustra says that in order to find a way to yourself, you have to stay in solitude. In order to meet the inner self, you have to escape from your group instinct and go on a lonely path. Nietzsche asks and Zarathustra said this, "Brother, are you about to enter solitude? Are you about to find your way to yourself?" Zarathustra says that a creator who is so alone can suffer from many people. The path of a creator is a path of pain and hardship. When the time comes, you are tired of solitude by thinking that you are alone. As time goes by, the pride and courage as a creator will disappear, and you will see your vulgarity so closely. You can also face trials for feelings of killing the lonely. You may receive the unappreciated gaze of those around you, filled with envy and envy. However, Zarathustra says that the nastiest enemy a creator can encounter is not someone outside, but rather himself. What a creator must overcome is himself. Those who go through the path of a creator must trust and love themselves. And those who love themselves must also know how to despise themselves. Also, in order to create something new, you must go down the path of destruction that destroys yourself. So Zarathustra says, you must be prepared to burn yourself down with your own flames. First, how can you wish for something new without being burned? The powerful, refreshing feeling of 15 minutes of solitude. Nietzsche needed 15 minutes of solitude to drink the strongest refresher from his most inner spring. Solitude means that we have time to focus entirely on ourselves. The reason you have to take time to focus on yourself is because of your emotions and intimate contact. Unfortunately, however, we cannot hear your inner voice. Therefore, Nietzsche says in very human I, take the 15 minutes to reflect most deeply on yourself and nature. People get those 15 minutes to reflect most deeply on themselves and nature as the masters of so many boredom, depression, and boredom. A man who builds a bastion of boredom is a man who builds a bastion of himself as well. He will never be able to drink the strongest softener that comes from his innermost springs. Take some time to face yourself in your own space, away from the bustling daily routine for a little while. Another me in me is always silent. When silence speaks to me one day, we can truly be with ourselves. Nietzsche says to avoid your neighbors and love the most distant, the superhuman. This is an essential prerequisite for living as a superhuman. You can never hear your inner voice without enjoying solitude. Listen to the silence within me without leaving anything around. Perform regular daily rituals to confirm the meaning of your existence. If you don't feel lonely, even when you're alone, you've reached the highest level of solitude. Free air is needed to heal the body and mind from a painful life, and to return to yourself, just as clear air is needed to grow and form a dense forest. Solitude is essential to become a superhuman who overcomes himself and creates new values presented by Nietzsche. Did you enjoy it? Solitude allows you to reflect on yourself, not on your loneliness. Solitude does not mean you are abandoned or miserable because you are out of place. To heal a painful life, you must spend time alone. Spending time alone can provide a variety of positive aspects, such as promoting creativity and helping you discover yourself. It is also helpful to take a journey to find yourself, as Nietzsche suggested. I hope your solitude will be an opportunity to focus on yourself. I support your passion.